What's good? What's good? What's good? New Fat Boy Fitness in this thing. What's good, famo? Before I begin, everybody who comes on the video, if this is your new time, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Also, go by mandatorydefense.com. Check me out. Go by facebook.com/come out fighting. Like the page. Um, I wanted to hurry up in my breakdown of this fight in. I think everybody's pretty excited about it, being of the fact it's about 2 months away. I think it's September 28th. It's barely August the 4th. So we got a lot of time to really go over this fight and think about the ins and outs and all the things that may occur on fight night. In fact, I'm not even sure if the whole card has been worked out yet as far as who was all on the undercard. Of course, we know that Darrell will be facing Benavidez, but I'm talking about the entire fight card, even the untelevised portion for those who want to go to LA and check the fight out, which I'm still contemplating if I'm going to do. Because I think it's going to be lit out there, real lit. And, I don't know. LA is one of them type of places I want to spend more than a couple of days. So I'm going to think about it. It is what it is. But this is a mega fight, man. And what we have is something that we've been wanting for a while. We got two African American athletes in the prime of their careers facing each other. Two champions in a unification bout. And hell, I'm excited just thinking about it right at the moment. Shit, man. Wow. When I had to really think about that. Two conditioned athletes. Both these guys are very strong, very fast, very, very athletic. Both of them can move well if they choose to. However, one chooses to go forward and mow through opponents because that's just the style he adapted, and that's the style he likes and executes very well. But he can box too, and of course, I'm talking about Errol Spence. But after his fight against Mikey Garcia, he said he's not boxing no more. He's going back to bulldozing right through these guys. And I say if you can continue to do it, why not? It's working, and these guys are getting beat up in the process. But standing on the opposite corner of the ring from him would be a guy who's no slouch. Shawn Porter is a guy who normally, in the past in the welterweight division was the first one to step up and face the guys that nobody want to face. I could think of one right off the bat with nobody trying to go across the pond and fight Kell Brook at that time. Nobody was. He had a world title. He was the only other welterweight champion outside of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And, you can call out Floyd all you want. He's going to fight who the hell he wants to fight. So it wasn't no guarantee you was going to get a fight with Floyd, but there was a good chance that these top-notch guys within the division could have got that fight with Kell Brook because he wanted to smoke. And Shawn Porter was the guy who stepped up. He was always the guy who got his hands up, ready to, show up and do what he got to do and test these guys out. It just so happens in that particular fight, he was beaten soundly by the Brick fighter, and he lost his title. But, I've said it plenty of times in the past. You got two good fighters in the ring. Somebody going to catch that L. And on that particular night, he caught that L. But Shawn Porter, very aggressive fighter, very strong. He got fast hands. He got decent power. But the biggest thing about him is that he's so damn strong. So when he comes to fight, he's not always trying to box. I believe he's most effective when he closes the distance on his opponent and uses natural strength. I mean, he'll roughhouse these guys, use roughhouse tactics, wrestle around with them. And, that stuff is tiresome. It'll tire a guy out, especially if he's not as strong as you are. He'll let those hands go. He'll outfight the boxers. He'll try to outbox the fighters. I don't know if I said that right. Let me say it again. He'll outfight the boxers. What I mean by, let me give you an example. He outfought Paul Malignaggi, who was the boxer. I mean, he roughed him up, beat him up, did him bad, broke him down, stopped him. You know what I'm saying? And he'll try to outbox the fighters. The guys who like to really mix it up and tend to get a real good fight going. And In this particular fight, there's no difference. It's not like it's a style when he faces Errol Spence. Spence is not like it's a style he has not ever seen before. He's seen a style like that. It's just he hasn't been in the ring with a guy who's not giving up much in the ring. He's not giving you no openings. He's not giving you the timing to counter him, because when he throws his punches, he brings his arms back up high. He protects himself down low very well. It's like he sees it before it's coming. And but on the same token, Shawn Porter has fought with 3 or 4 southpaws as a professional and beat all of them. So most people are seeing this as a wash. I don't necessarily see it like that. I see two very good top athletes in their division, and they're about to mix it up. Um, a lot of people seem to think that the biggest detriment to Team Porter is Kenny Porter. I've been reading that a lot in the comments. I've been seeing videos on it, and this is my thoughts on that. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have any feelings towards Kenny Porter or against him. He never done anything to me. So, it is what it is. He may be uh, hard to deal with for some people, maybe a lot of people. But at the end of the day, that's their issue with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent of that. But one thing I wanted to bring to the forefront is this for anybody, including the media, and I'll touch on that in a minute. If you're telling Shawn Porter something about his dad, I'm telling you right off the bat, and I don't mean no disrespect in this. I'm being as candid as possible. This is as real as it's gonna get. Okay, you got fighters saying that Shawn Porter's dad is, always in his pockets. It may be true. It may be true. I don't have the insides on that. I'm not looking at no contracts. I'm not looking at their managerial contracts. I don't know anything about that. But one thing I do know about is that they come from, I believe, Akron, Ohio. And this is a guy, Kenny Porter, who taught his son $1 million talent. All right. He taught his son how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Brought him through the amateurs to where Shawn Porter compiled a 276 wins and 14 losses as an amateur, and won the nationals. He just barely missed on going to the Olympics. From that point on, being a champion in the amateurs, brought him professional, took him to 2 professional world titles in the welterweight division. This is a guy who took his son and molded him into a champion, whether it was in the amateurs or the professionals, and he's making millions of dollars based on the time that his father instilled into him. So anybody that's coming at Shawn Porter, whether you're trying to give him game or whatever like that, he's gonna see it as an attack. And you would too if you were him. If you came from where he came from and you were in his position, you would too. You're gonna be looked at as an outsider. Who is this guy from no fucking where come around telling me something about the dad who did X amount of things in my life? It's an attack. That's the way he gonna see it. So that's why I don't really have much to say about Kenny Porter. Salute to him. Hopefully they can come up with a good game plan and maybe secure victory. I'm not going for him or anything like that, but it's 2 combatants in the ring, 2 championship fighters. And you know what? May the best man win. I have my favorites and all, but even still, even with my favorites, when the bell ring, all right, motherfucker, let's see what you got. You know what I'm saying? All that cheering stuff goes right out the window. Point blank, period. But taking no credit away from Shawn Porter or Kenny Porter, he gonna be in there with a monster too. He gonna be in there with a monster. It's the reason why people are singing Errol Spence praises. They were singing Errol Spence's praises early, and I wasn't on the bandwagon. I was still scoping him at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because he was mowing through the competition, steamrolling everybody they put in front of him. But at that time, the whole argument was, okay, he's doing this against the guys who they're trying to get him seasoned against. Once he raised his level to the upper echelon in the division, if he's able to steamroll those guys who bring a little bit more to the table, then we can start singing his praises. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened, because he would go across the pond and he will fight Kell Brook in front of 22,000 Brits screaming, cussing. throwing sodas, whatever they doing, singing. You know what I'm saying? He went behind enemy lines and he beat the brakes off of one of the longest reigning welterweight champions at that time. He was the only champion outside of Mayweather at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he probably had the biggest claim to being the champion in the division, at least until Keith Thurman unified. So and he did that. He went over there and broke him down, stopped him, hurt his other orbital bone on the other side of his face. So that ought to tell you too that he's not no feather fisted guy. Um, and taking no credit away from Team Spence because Errol Spence, I mean, he's another guy. He went through the amateurs, compiled 135 wins, 12 losses, several national championships, and went to the Olympics and lost in the Olympics after they overturned a fight that he won. You know what I'm saying? So, and as a professional, undefeated, 25 wins, 21 knockouts, I believe. And he knocked off a champion, and he just knocked off a pound for pound fighter in two different styles of fights. One, he mowed right through the guy, and in the other fight, he outboxed him. A wrinkle that most people didn't think he had in his repertoire, but he showed up and he showed out. Also, he spars, of course, with substantially larger guys, but that's no big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, obviously, but a lot of fighters spar with substantially bigger guys. And the reason being is you bring in guys that are their size, and if they're not up to par, they're just going to steamroll them, beat them up, and end up sending them home anyway. So they need bigger guys to come in so that just for the mere fact that they could take the punches much better. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing for Errol Spence. He need bigger guys in there. But one bigger guy, quote unquote, that came into that camp years ago would be one of my boys who I ain't dealt with them in years. I don't even know if I can say he's my boy, but I know him, and that's Jermell Charlo, the twins, young Mel. And that's when Mel and Ronnie Shields had issues with each other. Jermell felt some type of way about the way Ronnie chooses to communicate instructions to him in the corner. Mel feels like, yo, I'm in there, I'm taking these punches. Watch how you talk to me. As a man, I can't argue with that. It works for some. It doesn't work for others. It's not like it's the football field. They're not on the gridiron around this motherfucker. Dudes ain't trying to get fat mouthed in the corner. So, but I think he lost a good trainer, but he also picked one up too. So going to Dallas and sparring with Errol Spence, Errol brought another level out of Jermell, but the level was in him. He just needed the guy to bring it out of him. Because when you sparring Errol Spence, if you don't raise your game, even in sparring, you're gonna get your ass beat, point blank. Period. You about to get mollywopped, and Mel ain't into taking no whoopings at all. So he had to work in there, and while he was working, he started seeing that he had a whole lot more than what he was offering on the tape. That's why his whole game changed. He was, even though he got some of the best movement in boxing, he got some of the best feet. He got some of the best balance. He looked like a junior middleweight version of Holyfield. I know that's a big praise. I'm just talking about in terms of balance. In terms of balance. That's it. I don't want the Holyfield fanatics to be beating on me, but just check out the balance when Mel was moving around the ring boxing as opposed to now standing in front of these guys and delivering just harmful and devastating punches to these guys. I mean, Jermell is punching now, and he got a big chip on his shoulder. I think it's because of him being in Dallas sparring with Errol Spence, because I've seen Mel spar with bigger guys, with Laura. I mean, I've seen all that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all those sparring matches. But the transition in his game that occurred after he started training in D-Town. So I gotta say it was because of him being matched up with these two guys, being Errol Spence and Derrick James, that his game raised up just another notch. And that only happened because you in there with somebody that can offer something to either help you or, you know what I'm saying, make you really work to achieve and add something more to your game. And he already had it. He just brought out a little bit more than what was already there. And he a dog. And Errol Spence is a dog too. So in this particular fight, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see these two young, powerful, athletic champions come together, and an explosion is going to happen. Point blank, period. It is not going to be a wash. It's going to be competitive. Um, of course, Errol Spence is talking real. He talking real greasy to that boy, telling him, "I'm gonna beat you up, man. I'm gonna stop you." You know what I'm saying? You bet not get up in there and try to box with me. You know what I'm saying? But I think Shawn Porter is gonna try to box a little bit in this fight with Errol Spence, because when you look at the tape, most people who try to take the fight to the inside, for infighting with Errol Spence, it's just the beginning of the end. He putting his punches together. He blocking what you got. He pivoting it off of everything you do. He taking away your punching range. He jabbing his way in, staying in, and he beating you up to the body, countering to the body, hooks to the head. And while at the same time, he not giving up much. He keeping himself nice and tight up in there. And when I mean tight, I don't mean tight where he's stiff. I mean his defense is really tight, but he actually relaxed and calm in there. And I just know they have to know that that's not the right game plan to do that, because Shawn Porter is very rough on the inside, but he a little reckless on the inside. I'll give you an example. Sometimes he overshoots his punching range. His punching range is here. He'll get on the inside and he'll be trying to throw big shots, and those shots he not giving himself enough room to get full torque on those shots. Been doing that a long time. I'll give you another example of something Shawn Porter does. And this is no slouch on. I ain't trying to go hard on the guy. Obviously, what he does works. He is several-time world champion, so he obviously doing something correct or correctly. But when the fight gets in the trenches and the dog is coming out of him and his opponent, or just him, he'll be up on his opponent, got his opponent against the ropes, and he digging. He throwing all his shots, but he got his mouth wide open. And I'm like, dude, with Errol Spence, you asking to get your jaw broke. Now you can go in almost every picture of Shawn Porter, or go to any fight when watching him fight. Shawn Porter got his mouth open. Dude, how I don't want I gave Kenny a lot of props earlier in the video, but bro, somebody got to tell this boy, bite down on your mouthpiece, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, in that fight with Keith Thurman, he got hit with some bombs, and he tied Keith up, and he started shifting his mouth around like he really felt that shot. But Shawn Porter built like titanium, man. I'm telling you, this guy he tough, bro. He tough. That's why I don't see him getting stopped in this fight. I think he got a lot of pride, and I think he got something that you can't measure by looking at the stats. He got this heart right here, man. He got that heart. He got that will. He got that tenacity. So he gonna be there, man. Even if it's a tough, grueling fight, one side of the fair, or if it's close and competitive, Shawn Porter is gonna be in that thing, giving or trying his best to give as much as he's getting. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you, he know the odds is against him. He know everybody is basically picking Errol Spence. So I expect his conditioning to be through the roof, and I expect his activity to be high. What does that mean for Errol Spence? I mean, it could mean trouble, which I doubt. But I think Errol Spence is going to be D'ing up like he always do, and he going to be picking his openers. So my prediction on the fight: this ain't no slouch against the Ohio boys. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I fucks with Ohio hard, real heavy, man. But I think when you look at the common opponents, Errol Spence has done substantially better against those guys. When you look at their dimensions, Errol Spence is taller. Errol Spence got a reach. Errol Spence is a southpaw. When you look at who hit the hardest, everybody talks about how hard Errol Spence hits. Even bigger guys who are champions, brag about how hard Errol Spence hits. All right. When you look at that boxing ability, I think Shawn Porter moves a lot better. I think he's more lighter on his feet. You know what I'm saying? I think he can use the ring a whole lot better. But I think Errol Spence is a master boxer too. I'll give you an example. He was in the ring with a master counterpuncher. Errol Spence, I'm talking about. Errol Spence was in the ring with a master counterpuncher who could not counter Errol Spence. And I'm talking about Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia got 30 some odd wins, champion in 4 divisions. He is an expert of decoding your style, picking his shots, and making you pay when you make a mistake. Well, he couldn't even get the gun out the holster when he was fighting Errol Spence. Why? Because Errol Spence, I say it all the time, he not giving up nothing. He don't give you nothing. When you think something there, he already bringing his arm back to protect in that particular place, or he'll hit you before you can even get a shot off. So Mikey Garcia, he had two full loaded Desert Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But what's the point of having them if you can't even pull them, and he won't even reach for the holster because he had to protect himself. By the time he was reaching for the holster, he was getting hit. So it's like I said, man, it's gonna be an uphill battle, man. It's gonna be an uphill battle. I think the openings are gonna be there. Shawn Porter is not the easiest guy to look good against, especially when he's making it a grueling fight. But I think the openings will be there for Errol Spence, especially if they take the fight in the trenches. And even though Shawn Porter has fared well against southpaw fighters, Devin Alexander was shot. You know what I'm saying? He was shot. Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna be in there with a guy who's shot. He's gonna be in there with a guy who went 5 years straight with knockouts until he just went the distance in his last fight with Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So um, he has a lot of momentum behind him. Errol Spence does, and he's not even looking at Shawn Porter. He's looking through him. He went in the ring with him after a fight and challenged him to his face. He's been wanting this fight for a long time. He's been sizing up Shawn Porter for a long time. And at the same time, I think Shawn Porter been sizing up Errol Spence too. But one thing that struck my nerve is a little while ago, I think is when Errol Spence rolled through Kell Brook and he was interviewed, and they asked Shawn Porter, they said, do you want to fight? At that time, Shawn Porter had already lost his title. He ain't had no belt. And they asked him, did he want to fight Errol Spence? And this dude said, well, I'm not ranked. And if y'all don't believe me, y'all can go to Fight Hype on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. Just look at the Shawn Porter interviews pretty much right after Errol Spence beat Kell Brook. But since that time, like I said, Team Porter has had the ability to size up and try their best to decode Errol Spence. They're even telling themselves that Errol Spence is fat, he not in shape. I guess they need some type of edge going into this fight, something that they can build off of in training camp. And on fight night, when the lights are on and the bell rings, the chips gonna fall where they may. So, I expect an explosion to happen, man. Like I said, Shawn Porter very strong. He throw a lot of punches. When he in the trenches, he can take a great shot. He even took good shots with his mouth open, which is strange that he hadn't had his jaw broke for not biting down on his mouthpiece. But, that's neither here or there. He's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he's a guy that throws a high volume of punches, power in both hands, mean ass fucking hook, mean straight left, good jab, good body punching, good balance. He can box, he can bang. He got great defense. Oh man, I hate to be a hater, man, but I think Errol Spence got this one by decision, man. I don't think he gonna roll right through Shawn Porter. I think Shawn Porter is gonna put up a great fight, but I think Errol Spence is gonna beat him and pretty handily. And I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think Errol Spence is gonna have to pull a rabbit out of his hat, and I think he knows it's going to be a tougher fight than what most people think it's going to be. And the reason why I think that is this: top fighters at the top of their game don't go call out guys because they think they sorry. You know what I'm saying? They go call out these guys who they think that they want to test their skills against. You know what I'm saying? Even the sorriest guys in the gym think they got something. It's just the truth. So I think there is a certain level of respect that Errol Spence has for Shawn Porter. He just ain't about to let him know it right now. Right now, he pretty much letting Shawn Porter know, you fool. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I'm about to come through and just cook your ass. Stick a fork in you. It's over. And Shawn Porter's game. He's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? He's motivated, strong, athletic, fast, and experienced. They both have a lot of championship experience. It's no reason. I mean, it's a reason why this fight is going to be on PPV, man. This is pay per view type stuff right here, and may the best man win on that. All right, let me see who in this chat because I've just been running my mouth. Let me backtrack this thing. Right, Bonton South D Town. What said facts? M Stack 85. What's good, fam? Ace Boogie up in this thing. Boxing conversations with Reggie Owens in this thing. I checked out your video earlier today, bro. I was on my way out the house. I got to go back and like it. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all go by mandatorydefense.com and go by facebook.com/ come out fighting. If y'all do videos, it's a good chance I'll be putting it on the Facebook because as it continues to build up, I want guys to come on in and get used to hearing y'all breakdowns, and maybe it'd be some more subscribers for everybody. Who knows? Gil Cole say salute. KP from KC. What's up, fam? Um, Reggie Owens say I agree with what's that, billion% on that about Kenny Porter. Yeah, right. I think folks are tripping and acting like he's going for he's going at Kenny Porter, and it's black folks doing it. Yeah, you're right. But sometimes we're our worst enemy, man. We are, and I'm not making I'm not coming at anybody in particular. That's not my style. I believe if you got something with your brother, you need to go and talk to that brother and iron that shit out without everybody knowing y'all business. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get at them, then you wait till you get at them and wait till the opportunity present itself, and y'all hash that out as men. I'm not really feeling that, and I'm not taking no sides because several individuals have issues with Kenny Porter. I don't have no issues with him, man. It is what it is. And like I said, Shawn Porter is going to see any of that as an attack, point blank, period. You gotta understand that if you have if you have a father in your life, you gotta understand that. And my pops in prison. You know what I'm saying? Just to put my information out there. That's probably the first time I ever said that, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know, everybody I know who had a pops, I know how they are about their pops, bro. So I'm just letting you know, he gonna see it as an attack. I think they're gonna try to take the jab away early. I studied the Alexander fight, and that's what he did. Errol gonna have to keep his head off the line. Ash remains to be seen. Yeah, he did more to take the jab away from Devin Alexander. He took it hard, and he was faster than Alexander. He had a good read on Alexander's timing. He did whatever he wanted in that ring with him, roughed him up real bad. Alexander just was not getting off, like he said in the interview. He said that Kevin Cunningham gave him the game plan, and he just could not get it off, and it was all his fault. And to his credit, he was in there with a dog too. So, but he was a bit past it. Even though he's still in his physical prime. Maybe it's a wear and tear on the body as to why he can't pull the trigger. I don't know. But as we all know, he came back and tried to continue fighting as a professional, and he has not looked like the Devin Alexander of old, the one who who hit Urango with an uppercut and damn near put that hole in the orbit. That ain't the Devin Alexander that's out there right now. DJ Zion Love, salute right back to you, fam. Errol need to go to that body early and bring Shawn hands down. One thing you ain't got to tell Spence to do is dig. He going to that body, point blank, period. And I'm going to tell you, if you watch that fight with Ugas and Shawn Porter, that's what Ugas did. He was going to that body early, whether he was throwing the jab and sending a combination to the body or if he was countering to the body. A lot of people seem to think Shawn Porter won that fight, and which he did win the fight. I mean, the judges scored it in his favor. That's why you need 3 sets of eyes to score a fight. I didn't see it so clear. I thought Ugas looked like he was more in control, but it wasn't no robbery. Salute to the man. You know what I'm saying? But it also proved to us where Ugas was at too in this fight game, and he just beat up on Figueroa. So he'll be getting the winner of this fight. He'll be the mandatory. Facts, bro. Yes, indeed. Porter getting baptized. I heard that, bro. KP from KC said I got Errol 8-4. Could be closer too, but I definitely think Spencer's gonna win. All them Ohio boys, my boy Junior the Truth say is Ohio against everybody. Fuck all y'all. I hear you, Junior. I hear you, bro. Good luck to your guy, man. Junior boy, he hold Ohio down regardless. David Douglas said, fuck Errol. Damn. Spence 115, 112 over Porter by neutral natural. That sounds good. That sounds like a good, close, competitive fight. Hopefully, it is competitive like that, and they can run it back, do it again. If it's one of those bangers like Morales and Barrera or Vasquez and who did Israel Vasquez? Israel Vasquez fought Rafael Marquez. That was a great four fight. Not a trilogy, but whatever the four fights are, whatever you call that shit, or the Castillo versus Corrales. Those are some great fights. You know what I'm saying? Hearns, Hagler, that type of shit. Hopefully we get something like that, but it's going rounds. It ain't gonna end in no 3 rounds like Hearns and Hagler did. So Ashy Knuckles, who should I bet on, bro? Bro, uh, I wouldn't even put money on this. I mean, look at the odds first. I mean, if you're getting great odds, man, I don't know, bro. Don't you may have to go holler at at Dwyer about that. I ain't or D style. I don't really do all the betting, man, because I don't want y'all coming back like, man, I trusted you. No, man, it's a fight. It don't even matter what I'm saying right here on this video or what anybody says on the video when breaking this fight down. The ring is gonna sort these facts out, bro. I can analyze this all day long, man. There's still 2 men in there. Ain't nobody built to steal. You know, they feel these punches. It's 2 men. It's a lot that can happen in this ring, man. One of them can hurt their hand in the ring, or both. You know, and now they can't even throw it. They can tear a rotator cuff. Still got to fight. One can get their jaw broke. One can get their eye closed. Can get a big gash over their eye like Marcus Brown. I mean, this is a style clash. This is a lefty versus righty. And the way Shawn Porter closes the distance on these guys so quickly, I could definitely see a headbutt or two happening in this fight. You know, I could definitely see that happening. So anything can happen in this fight, man. The good thing about it, at least from that perspective, is that Errol Spence protect himself so well. I think he'll actually see the headbutt coming and protect himself from that shit happening. But it's a fight, man. Sometimes you don't see it, especially when you're fighting them Cuban fighters. They have a way of headbutting your ass and then grabbing you, making it look like they were just trying to clinch, but the whole time they were lining your ass up for a good headbutt. That's that old school Cuban shit. I don't care what nobody say. I know they do that shit, and that's point blank. Period. Shawn Porter smother his punch it exactly. That's what I was saying earlier in the video. I didn't say those words. I say he overshoots his punching range. He gets so close on the guy. Now he didn't got to a position of where his power is not at his maximum capacity. You know, he's not getting full I don't want to say torque, but he not get full extension on his shots. And he, you know what I'm saying? He's smothering his own work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he may be in there working and maybe very active, but he not having the most effect off of his shots because he does that, and he been doing that his whole professional career. And I definitely think he gonna do that same shit on fight night. And I think Errol Spence is sharp enough and fast enough and disciplined and well studied enough to time that shit. Hopefully, Shawn Porter can protect himself from that return fire. If not, he gonna get touched. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. Period. What's up, fam? I'm in here. That's the homie Brian David, always coming through showing love. What's up, fam? Yep, that fight is going to the judges. Showing up. That's what I think. If Porter can get inside Errol jab, he might beat him. I don't know if he could stop him. I think it's the flip side, fam. And it's just my own opinion. You could be totally right. I mean, we only way we're gonna know is when the bell rings. But I think Porter don't have to worry about getting inside. I think Errol is gonna jab his own way inside. I think Errol want that smoke, and he want it in close. So if that's Team Porter's strategy is to slip the jab and work his way on the inside, well, they don't have to do too much of that because that's where the smoke gonna be at for him. So we'll see what if he got the easy waters in the swisher squeeze ready for that smoke. We'll see. TZ Frank says Shawn gets stopped in rounds 8 through 11. Ugh, I don't know. It could happen. Errol definitely hitting. He hitting. You know what I'm saying? He definitely punching. So it could happen. But Shawn Porter, he's a scrappy guy, man. He's a tough guy. And you never know. Porter could get caught like when Adrian Broner caught him and was losing the fight, damn near at the end of the fight. But time will tell. That's true. That is true. And he got sometimes Shawn Porter gives up those openings. Adrian Broner, he don't let his hands go, but in the one moment where the timing came into play, he caught him and put him down and ended up losing the fight anyway. But one thing you ain't got to worry about Errol Spence, you ain't got to tell him to move his hands. He gonna throw punches, and he gonna throw a lot of them, and they're gonna be hard. And he's conditioned at doing that. Um, it's an uphill battle. But one thing I could say about both these guys, Shawn Porter has faced no one on the likes of Errol Spence. Errol Spence has faced no one by the likes of Shawn Porter. That's what makes this match so intriguing. We're going off of this fight based on how we rate what they do well, but we have no idea what's actually going to happen when they bring both of their fight game into the ring and mesh these styles. We can only analyze. But that's why I always say the ring is going to sort these facts out, because only when the bell ring, we're going to see if any of this is accurate and true. You know what I'm saying? It's two men, man. It's two men in the ring. And punches hurt. Punches hurt like a motherfucker. Yep. Easy for Mike to counter Easter. Yeah. Mikey was countering him very easily. If there's an opening when you fight Mikey gonna sort that out. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't find a damn thing to counter in 12 rounds. In 12 rounds with Spence, man. He got blanked. That's terrible, man. I think his stock may have dropped a little bit. People acting like he ain't even a pound for pound fighter no more. Based on that one night when he was daring to be great, jumping up those divisions, facing the boogeyman of the division. But guess what? It turns out that Spence was the boogeyman of the division. And we saw that night. And Mikey saw that night too. Homie DJ Zion Love said, I got Spence for the KO, bro. Could be. Could be, man. He didn't have to fight Mikey. Did not. Mikey is the one who wanted that smoke. He was the one that boldly called out Spence. Spence looking at him like, he that little guy just talking, but no, Mikey was for real. And he kept doing what he had to do to position himself to be in that fight. And you know what? They end up doing it in front of 50,000 in Dallas, which is now it was already a major fight town. You just needed a star, because Pacquiao packed out Jerry's house, and I was at that one of those Pacquiao pay-per-views. I was at the Clottey fight, and it was a lot of people in that mug, man. A lot of people up in there. Team Pacquiao is a damn movement, man. It must have been like 30,000 Filipinos with Manny Pacquiao jackets on, and they knew me, and they knew they better cut. I think I called blood after that fight, because they were asking me about blood boxing. Where's blood at? I'm like, oh shit. Like, yo, that's not even cool, man. It's cool sometimes when everybody want to holler at you, take pictures with you because they like your work and your videos and stuff like that. But you never know who really want that smoke with you. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's a lot of crazy people out there, man. I ain't worried about it, nothing like that. But people know who you are, man. Don't get it twisted, especially when you go in different cities. It's a trip too, Jamal Fuel. What's good, my boy? Nothing much, man. Enjoyed my weekend. I tried to stay away from the alcohol. Couldn't do it. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it, man. I ain't, just going to the bar like 4 times a week. I fell off big time, bro. I was in that bar hard. But I'm much better now. You know what I'm saying? Spence is going to have to clinch and hold and make Porter reset. And we'll see, because Porter gonna be there. Porter more athletic than Spence. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. I don't know how to judge it, man. I know he definitely. I think he moves around the ring much better. I think he has. Yeah, I think he has a better movement than Spence, but I think it takes an athletic person to be able to let off over 1,000 shots in a fight too. And what all does athleticism give you in the ring? When skills pays the bills. Meldrick Taylor was more athletic than Chavez. Didn't stop him from getting his ass beat up in there, and he was winning the fight. But who paid for it the most? I think me and D Style was talking about that the other week. There's so many intangibles in this fight, man. It's a big fight. It's not just a regular fight. It's a huge fight. It's an event, and these boys are gonna do it, man. They're gonna do the damn thing. I'm gonna listen to all y'all breakdowns on this fight. I want to see what I'm not seeing, because I know it's some stuff I'm missing out on. Uh, Let me scroll down. Errol may catch Porter with a check hook if he jumps in with his punches. He may catch him with a check hook. A check hook, is when you pivot it out of the way and you're sending a hook in there. I don't see Spence pivoting it out of the way. I think he gonna catch him just with a counter hook, and he's gonna stay right there in position and come with some more punches behind that. But we'll see what happens. We may check hook him. You never know. You never know, man. Everybody got these breakdowns, man. I hope I see all these videos in the future, man. I want to hear all that, man. Uh DJ Zon Love Porter getting baptized. He'll keep saying that. Spence is going to have to use angles and fight like the fight he should have fought the last fight, and should have ran through Mikey Garcia and went for early KO. Well, he was definitely the bigger guy in there. I think the talk from the media got to him, and he was just trying to prove a point. But I agree with you, man. I think he should have tried to just bulldoze him like he do everybody else. Nobody else has been able to stop it. Even guys with legit boxing skills like Kell Brook, and he couldn't stop it. You know what I'm saying? At some point, he wilted. Errol Spence so far has been bringing guys to their breaking point, and that's what's so intriguing about this fight is, can he bring somebody who we know is tough, who is durable, who is strong, who is athletic, and bring him to his breaking point? Could vice versa happen? Because Shawn Porter roughed Errol Spence up so much that his activity rate is racking up points on the scorecards to where he cruises to a split decision or a majority or a unanimous decision. Can Shawn Porter hit Errol Spence with a hard enough shot to put this guy down? These are great questions, man. And, we'll just have to see what happens on that note. We'll just have to see what happens on that, man. I love this. I'm buying it. If I don't go to LA, I'm buying it for sure. So, King Louis to boxing says who? I don't know what you're talking about, fam. CB Sports TV, salute right back at you, family. Appreciate you for stopping in, man. Tangibles versus intangibles. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, man. What we know, what we don't know, and what we think we know, all coming into play in this fight, man. The things you can't see, you know what I'm saying? The nuances, all that comes into play in this fight, and they got 36 minutes to get it done. Which team, which coach is going to implement the best game plan based on the guy that they're looking across the ring at? It's a unification. It's a big fight, and so far, only one of these guys has been in that type of atmosphere, has been in an atmosphere where they go P. Diddy sitting over there. You know what I'm saying? You got Dez Bryant over there. You got the stars in the house. You know what I'm talking about? It's the fans filling the stadium to the arenas. They screaming at the top of their lungs. Only one guy has been in that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? the biggest fights where you're doing crazy interviews. You on Sway, you on the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? You on damn Letterman or whatever. You know, it's the big fight atmosphere. It's so much different. The suits come out, the big cameras come out. You know what I'm saying? The stars are coming out. The news people are coming out. Everybody want a piece of you. Everybody want to ask you questions. You know, this is Shawn Porter's first pay-per-view event, and this is Errol Spence's second pay-per-view event, but it's not the second time he's been in a arenas packed to the ceiling, whether he was fighting Kell Brook in Britain or when they sold out the AT&T Center. I think it's called AT&T Center when he fought Ocampo. That was filled up to the brim with his fans. And then when Mikey came, they filled up I want to call it Texas Stadium. I don't know what the Dallas Arena where the Cowboys play. Filled that to the brim. He's been in the big. He got more experience at the highest level. And some people, when them lights turn on, man, they can't. It's too much for them. The magnitude of the event is too much. Or maybe the magnitude of the event will make Shawn Porter, step his game up. Thinking that he should have been there the whole time. He was Manny Pacquiao chief sparring partner, so he's been around legit pay-per-view stars. Maybe he feel like he's one of them. That's what make this fight so awesome, man. I can't wait for it, man. I'm over here getting excited and shit. Aztec 101, what's up, fam? He said I got Spence. You and a bunch of others, fam. You and a bunch of others. Errol told Shawn he's knocking his ass up. That dude said, what does that mean? He said, I'm gonna beat you up. That's what it means. I'm gonna beat you up. Yeah, bro. That's wild, man. Anyway, man, what time we got? Oh yeah, let me go ahead and cut this thing off. I'm already at 47 minutes. Y'all go by mandatorydefense.com, check it out. Go by facebook.com / come out fighting. Fight 10, not fighting. Drop that G, keep that N up there. Come out fighting. Facebook.com / come out fighting and like the page. Anybody out there want to donate to the channel or to the site or to the Facebook boxing community, you can catch me on the PayPal. Pay me at Ashley Knuckles Boxing. Everything you need to know is in the description box. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna keep pumping out these videos. I'm gonna see what fights we got going on this week. Update the site, and based on whatever we got coming up, more videos are coming, man. All right, I'm out this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. It's your boy Ash, man. Holla.